Hello guys, welcome to Mother Code Academy. In this video, as earlier stated, we are going to see for loop, and we are going to use for loop to find the factorial of a number. So let's start with hash include our string using namespace std int main. So the first thing to do in this program is our topic, using for loop to find the factorial of a number. What is a factorial of a number? Factorial of a number is the result of multiplying that number by a decrement of the number by 1. You continue decrementing it until you reach 1. For example, to find the factorial of 5 is something as saying 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. You stop at 1. And again, the factorial of 1 is 1. The factorial of 0 is 1. So factorial of 0 is also 1. So to solve this problem using for loop, we finished learning while loop in the previous videos. So in this video, we're going to learn for loop. If you haven't watched the video for while loop, I'm going to keep the description in this video, in the description of this video, so you can watch it. So let's see how for loop works. Firstly, we create a variable int number. So cout, enter a number. Then we have cin number. So the user is going to enter the number here. So this variable called factorial, let's give it an initial value of 1. So our variable factorial is equal to 1. So the nature of the for loop. The nature of the for loop is that if you put 4, you have to state the starting of the for loop. Where is the for loop going to start from? So let's say int I. You create a variable. This variable int I is not necessary for you to create it inside this bracket. You can come here and do something like this, int I, like this. So if you come here, you can just say I equal to 1. So our initial, our index, the counting is starting from beginning. So I is 1. You already created the variable here as int I. So computer know of I. So if you put I equal to 1 here, it's fine. Not necessary I. You can use a, int a, and use a inside the bracket. You can use any variable. So just know that the counter is going to start from this variable here. Okay, I equal to 1. I less than or equal to number. So whatever the user enters as a number, let's say the user enter 5, computer is going to count from 1 to 5. Okay, or let's say you can do it in different ways. Let's change this to I equal to 5. So my counter is 5, then I greater than 0. That is to remove this number here. Make this one to be number because number is changing. So I greater than what? I greater than 0. So a number greater than 0 is 1 as far as integer is concerned. So I equal to number. Our I here is going to hold whatever the number is. So if the number is 5, our I is starting from 5. If the number is 6, our I is starting from 6. So I greater than 0. This while loop will be happening as far as I is greater than 0. So this condition is what makes the for loop to be true or to be false. As far as I is greater than 0, the for loop will keep on running. So then how do we meet this condition? How do we make this condition to be false? It's either by incrementing or decrementing. So we're going to say I minus minus. Then we are going to open our curly braces to enter inside. So what is going to happen here is that my counter is going to start counting from 5, since my I is 5 if a user enter 5. So then this condition is what makes the for loop to be valid or not valid, meaning to run or not to run. So I is greater than 0. So the for loop will keep on happening until this our I is no more greater than 0. So how do we want the computer to achieve to make this for this condition to be false? So we have to decrement I by 1 at each iteration. So I minus minus is what is going to take our I to this point. So let's see how it's going to work. So now after we have this, we come here and we set factorial equal to factorial multiplied by I. That is all. So this factorial here is a variable. Then this factorial here, what did I even type here? Factorial. Then this factorial here, computer is going to take the value of 1 here and put it here, and now multiply it by what? By my I. My I here is the number we enter, because we say I equal to number, so it's 5. So computer is going to keep 1 multiplied by 5. The result is 5. It will now come and hit the wall of my for loop. This is my for loop here. So it will now enter from the back. So it will now decrement I with 1. So I is going to be reduced by 1, because this is I minus minus. So my I is 4 here. So computer is going to take 4 here as my I. So computer is going to take this, my number here is no more 5, is 4. So computer will check, is 4 greater than 0? Yes, 4 is greater than 0. So computer will now enter into the for loop. Okay, so factorial equal to factorial. Already the value of factorial here is 5. So computer will now do 5 multiplied by what? I. The value of my I is now 4. So computer will keep what? Computer will keep 20 here. It will now reach the wall of the for loop. It will enter from the back. It will reduce the I by 1. So I is no more 4. I is now 3. So computer will now check, is I greater than 0? Is 3 greater than 0? Yes, 3 is greater than 0. So computer will enter into the loop again. So factorial equal to, so this is a variable. This one is now the value. So factorial, that is 20 multiplied by I. My I is 3. So computer will multiply it by 3. And we're going to have 60 here. So it will now reach the wall here, the wall of the for loop, and enter from the back. I minus minus, I is now 2. So computer will check, is I greater than 0? Yes, 2 is still greater than 0. It will now enter into the for loop. This remains as a variable, and the value here, the value is 60. Factorial is 60 now. So 60 multiplied by what? I. My I is now 2, which is equal to 120. Then it will now come and touch the wall and enter from the back. I minus minus, I is now 1. So is I greater than 0? Is 1 greater than 0? Yeah, for sure 1 is greater than 0. Computer will enter this place. Factorial, this one is the variable, then this one is the value inside the variable multiplied by I. That is 120 multiplied by 1 by 1. So which is equal to what? 120. So it will now come here and reduce, entered from the back. So I minus minus, 1 minus minus, that is what? This place has changed to 0. So computer will now check, is I greater than 0? Is 0 greater than 0? No, 0 is not greater than 0. Then this condition is now false. Therefore, we are going out of the for loop. So it is not going to run the for loop again. It is now coming out of the for loop. So let's put C out outside the for loop. This is the wall of the for loop, and I put C out here. C out factorial equal to, then I have factorial. So then I put end line and I put this, and I think this program is okay. So if we just give it a name and save it, so let's see what's going to happen. Oh, see the big mistake I make here. So this factorial, I have to give it a data type is integer, and I saw. So enter a number. So now let's say we enter 5. Can you see our answer is 120, and it's fine. If you enter another number, let's say you enter let's say you enter 6. Computer say the factorial of 6 is 720, and this is how this program works. And not only that, let's do something here. Let's say I have the same thing. Yeah, so let's see this thing as it is now. I can have for int I can put the int I like this, equal to 0, I less than, let's say 10. I can say I plus plus. So what I want the computer to do is start counting from 0 and keep on executing the for loop until I, as far as I is less than 10, then be incrementing I by 1 at each iteration. So we can put cout hello C++ programmers. Let's just do it like this. So we can put break line, so that because the computer is going to run many lines of code here. So now if you run this program, let's say give it a name, and you run it. So see what happened. Computer just show you hello C++ programmers 10 times. The reason why it is 10 times is because the counting starts from 0. So from 0 to less than 10, that is from 0 to 9 is 10. If you want it to show 9, then you have to make this place to be 1. So this is just a little explanation, our first video regarding for loop. And we have still more videos explaining what for loop is. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share this video to your friends. Thank you.